Hey everybody, Sean from Iron Sword Spices, and today we're going to make tacos. Healthy tacos that you'll still want to eat. We're going to start putting parchment down. Pro tip, if you wrinkle your parchment up, it lays much flatter. 1/3 of a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, extra cheddar, Fiesta blend, whatever you like. And just put it right in a little pile. Kind of pat it down. We're going to do 2 of these to start. Alright, once you get them about that big, about 4 inches, they go in the oven, 350 degrees for 5 to 7 minutes. Just watch for these little edges to start to turn brown. Alright, and there we go. You can see they're just starting to brown around the edges a little bit. You're going to want to let these sit and cool for a minute, mostly because that's like molten lava, but just let them sit and cool for just a minute. Make sure they're still flexible, and then we're going to turn them into tacos. Alright, we're going to take a little shortcut here. I'm going to cut these out, pick them up by the parchment paper, and if you have a taco stand, you can do this. If not, I'll show you a way to do that. Ow, it's hot, ow, it's hot, ow, it's hot, ow, it's hot. You stick it right in there like that and let it sit and cool. No problem. If you don't have a fancy taco stand, you wrap a spoon in foil, get a couple of jars or boxes or something like that that are about the right size, and then you take your taco shell and you drape it over it. And you just let it sit and cool. You're going to make these a little bit bigger. You're going to go just over 1/3 of a cup because we're going to treat them a little different at the end. You're going to like this part. It's one of my favorite ways to do these. But other than being a little bigger, it's the same process. 7 minutes in the oven, be right back. There we go, and they're out. Again, let those cool for a minute, and then we'll show you what we're going to do a little bit different with these. It's going to be fun. Once these come out of the oven and they cool off just a little bit, if you have one of these really cool little bowl makers, you can flip it over, sit this right up on top, and yes, they are still hot, hot, hot. Now we're still very, very hot. Actually, we'll flip it over. Very carefully, because they're still hot, so it will tear. Get the parchment off. And when this finally cools down, you will have a really cool little taco bowl that you can use. Now, if you don't have one of those, there's always a solution. Just get a regular bowl, cover it in foil. And the same thing, just tip this over on there. Kind of peel it back, start at the edges. And just press it down around the edges of the bowl. Alright, now we're going to make a pico. We're going to have about 1/4 of an onion. We're going to have some fresh chopped cilantro, but you know, we're going to pretend because they didn't have any in the store, so I bought their little pre-cut mess. 1 jalapeno, not on a stick, and like 3 Roma tomatoes. And we're just going to get it all diced up, about the same, about 1/4 inch dice. Going to get it in the bowl, and we're going to mix. Alright, so there's our pico, right there. It's about 3 to 1 tomato to onion is the basics. Little jalapeno in there, little lime juice, about 1/2 tablespoon maybe. To cut up a jalapeno, you can add garlic in there if you want. It's not a traditional ingredient. Just give this a little toss and stick it in the fridge for a little while we do the next step, and it'll be ready to go when we're all done. Yum. Alright, now on to the filling. I'm going to start, and I know this is kind of a little cheaty for healthy, but it adds a lot of flavor and just makes quite a few servings. It's not really a big deal, but if you want, you can leave it out. Just go with some extra seasonings and stuff. Mash this down here. Get this going a little bit. We're going to be using a 93% lean turkey for this also. So this is a really good way to hide it. That you're using turkey instead of actual meat. Turkey's kind of boring and bland and So just get this started in here. Get it kind of broken down a little bit as you go. Now I didn't use any oil, cooking oil, olive oil, anything like that in here, because this has a ton of oil in it. So, not necessary. This little piece of chorizo will definitely grease your pan. I mean, you can see it already in there. It's getting juicy. Once you get that kind of, not necessarily browned off, but just kind of broken down, add in your turkey. Preferably not with the little diaper. Now, be very gentle with your turkey, because if you press down on it like that, you can see it. The little stripes in it in ground turkey are really just for show. So you kind of break it up a little bit. But you can see it in the middle, it's not really, it really is just the one piece. So I usually just kind of break it up into little chunks and let it cook for a minute. And that sear on the outside will kind of hold it together a little better. So you don't end up with mushy tacos, because that's not any fun. And we're trying to make healthy food that you'll actually want to eat. So the secret to making really good taco filling is a couple of things. Make sure that your meat's browned off really nicely, because that adds a little bit of flavor, especially if you're using something like turkey that doesn't really have its own flavor. Make sure you're getting some flavor in there with a decent little sear. The other secret is use the absolute best seasonings you can find. In this case, of course, is the Iron Sword Mexico. And about the final secret is add a little bit at a time, and keep adding it a little bit at a time. And when your house smells like a Mexican restaurant, that's the right amount of seasoning. To get this broken down, and it looks like it's almost done, add a little bit of water, like a quarter cup or so, in there, and that'll help turn your spices and the fats from the chorizo and all that. It will help turn that into a sauce of sorts. But just keep after it. Make sure this is cooked all the way. It's 165 degrees for poultry, but you know, getting a thermometer in that, it's going to be a little tricky. So you're just going to have to keep an eye on it. Make sure there's no pink. Make sure it's hot, hot, hot. So we have our cheese shells ready to go, looking all beautiful. Stay. We're going to put in a little bit of lettuce at the bottom of this one first, because it's more like a little taco salad bowl. A little bit more in there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And then we're going to put our filling. Now, the thing about filling here, it does have a little bit of fat in it from the chorizo, and it is delicious, but one of the keys, if you're looking to lose a little weight, is moderation. Everything in moderation. Yes, these are delicious. Yes, they are very low fat, low carb. They're very good for just about any diet, and they're good to satisfy that, holy cow, do I need a taco and I'm sick of this diet attitude that might happen, you know, once or twice a day. But moderation. Look at your serving sizes. Look at what you're eating, making sure that you're getting the right amounts in there, and don't go crazy. When you're done eating, give yourself a minute. Just take 5 or 10 minutes and sit. Don't just run back for seconds. I forgot the lettuce on that bad boy. Because if you just run it back for seconds before you know it, you're going to be over full, and you will have blown your diet. But that's about it. Those are our extra yummy diety tacos. Almost forgot one key thing. The more flavor you can pack in to your foods if you're dieting or watching your weight. Not dieting. It's not a diet per se. It's a lifestyle change. If you go on a diet, invariably you will come off of a diet. Do not go on a diet. Do not go on a diet. Just change the way you eat. That's all. But the more flavor you can pack in there, the better, because it'll help you stick to it. Let's see what we got here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because I know I'm going to like this. So keep up with it. See how much weight you can lose. There we go. Taco grease.